A curse! You're cursing me!
It sounds like this show is just as much fun to make as it is to watch. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 behind-the-scenes secrets from Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
You swear to give your mind, body, and soul unreservedly to the furtherance of the designs of our Lord Satan.
You said I would have free will.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we'll be looking at various pieces of behind-the-scenes trivia that are interesting, shocking, or informational.
I have my chairs, lots and lots of chairs. They hang upside down because it's part of a protection spell that encompasses the whole house. Now Aunt Hilda and Zelda, not even Sabrina knows why they're up there, and they're too scared to ask.
Number 10, Kiernan Shipka was almost cast on Riverdale.
Hello, boys.
Chilling Adventures of Sabrina has a lot in common with Riverdale. Not only do they share a universe and creator, but there are numerous references and Easter eggs littered throughout the episodes of Sabrina.
Do you go to Baxter? You look kind of familiar.
I do, but my gal pals go somewhere else.
Where? Riverdale?
Oh, and Kiernan Shipka was almost cast as Betty. The creator of both shows, Roberto Aguirre-Sacasa, envisioned Kiernan as Betty after seeing her work on Mad Men. And while the role eventually went to Lily Reinhart, Roberto didn't forget about old Sally Draper.
Betty.
I'm fine.
Well, he kind of did. It was Sabrina's casting director, David Rappaport, who suggested Shipka to Roberto.
Now, boys, don't go getting scared on us.
I just don't want to break my neck tripping in the dark.
There are lamps right inside the tunnel.
See?
Realizing that this was a genius move, he proceeded to write the character of Sabrina with Kiernan specifically in mind. Needless to say, he got her.
There's no flying in my life. Without you, Sabrina Spellman.
Number 9, Real Occult Iconography is featured in the series.
Solve it, and you can join conjuring class.
Or go mad trying.
Well, that won't happen with your niece. Only the weak-willed fall prey to the Agaran's fascinations.
This show really takes its visual design seriously. For one thing, over 150 paintings by horror legend Clive Barker were donated to the show, so keep an eye out for those. And rather than making up some iconographic nonsense that looks scary, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina features real occult iconography. There are upside-down crosses, there are pentagrams, perhaps the most famous visual design related to Satanism. There's also black cats, duh, squared circles, and the circle of protection, all of which are associated with the occult.
I just wanted to say I'm sorry how everything went down with the resurrection.
How'd you hear?
Bad news travels fast.
And of course there's Baphomet, the use of which has caused such an uproar in the Satanic Temple that they pursued legal action over copyright infringement. Number 8, Supernatural Experiences. Having supernatural experiences probably wasn't a prerequisite for being cast on Sabrina, but it probably didn't hurt.
Why did you conjure the ghost of Lady Blackwood to haunt her?
And wouldn't you know it, some members of the cast have seen some pretty spooky things. Lucy Davis told Thrillist that the cast had gone to see a psychic medium, and the medium told someone that they, quote, needed healing from Hilda.
But as Satan is my witness, if you hurt my family, there will be heaven to pay.
Lucy Davis plays Hilda. Coincidence? Davis also says that she often sees people who aren't really there, and that her experiences have made her, quote, sensitive to different energies.
Little bruise.
Gavin Leatherwood has also been hit by the supernatural bug, as he claims to have seen a UFO.
Nick, up there. Look.
Who is that?
I think that's the ghost of my father.
Or at least a bright pink light, which sounds like a UFO to us. Number 7, Archie Comics. What did we say about the Riverdale connection? We're sure you've noticed, but Archie Comics are littered around the set.
Will you excuse me, Miss Wardwell?
Certainly.
These comics are scattered all over Dr. Cerberus's bookshop, most of them sitting amongst other comic books on the shelves. Archie's Madhouse, a series that ran from 1959 to 1982, can also be seen in Harvey's room. Archie's Madhouse is important to Sabrina because she made her very first appearance in Madhouse issue number 22, which has since become one of the most sought-after comics in the Archie canon.
Harvey.
Sabrina.
Sabrina went on to make various guest appearances throughout the series before earning her own spin-off, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Harvey.
I'll see you around, Sabrina.
Number 6. Lachlan Watson is non-binary.
I was actually thinking I could maybe wear a suit to the dance.
One of the major storylines of Part 2 concerned Theo's transgender male identity, and in Episode 3, Theo comes out to his father. This was a big moment for actor Lachlan Watson, who identifies as non-binary, because Theo's character arc had been building to that moment for an entire season.
Even though I look like a girl, even though I have a girl's name, even though you've always thought of me as a girl, I'm a boy.
While Lachlan was originally cast as a trans man named Orlando, creator Roberto Aguirre-Sacasa decided to give him a coming-out character arc instead. Lachlan said that they worked with Roberto to subtly and naturally build Theo's character arc throughout the show.
I think that we're equal people, that we don't have to be different if you don't see us that way, that we are human, and that our ideas and our concepts and our feelings are human.
They also said that they took the role to, quote, start a conversation, and it has certainly done that. Number 5. The Familiars have meaningful names.
Salem. Well done!
The symbolism even extends to the Familiars, many of whom have names linked to the supernatural. The most obvious is Salem, who is named after the infamous witch trials that saw 19 people executed for alleged witchcraft in 1692 and 93. Zelda's Vinegar Tom is also linked to witchcraft, as Vinegar Tom was a play by Carol Churchill centered around witchcraft trials in England.
Nick, what the hell is that?
Amalia, please listen to me.
Wait, you know what that is?
I do, long story. I'll tell you as soon as I banish her.
The title comes from a fictional cat who is believed to be a familiar. Also, Stolas is the great prince of hell in the demonic spellbook Lesser Key of Solomon, and Leviathan is named after a massive biblical sea monster.
And,
Nick, how do you know the werewolf?
She's my familiar.
Now that's how you name a pet. Never mind that Mr. Whiskers nonsense.
My former high priest at the Church of Shadows once had a familiar, a cougar. She mauled the high priest's wife and baby so badly there was really nothing much left of them to bury.
Number 4. A Real Pagan is on set. Chilling Adventures of Sabrina doesn't fake anything.
I remember the week before my dark baptism. It felt as if my real life were finally beginning. I barely slept.
The show's production designer Lisa Soper is a real pagan, and she helped populate the sets with many authentic details, including Viking runes, a symmetrical foyer, and a calming sigil. Even the plants in Hilda's herb room are genuine.
This is my herb room, and everyone in production design have set up this room, and everything is real. Every plant and every pot is real and has a function.
Magical power.
Yeah.
Soper also helped design the spells by consulting her personal collection of grimoires, and she even put a protection spell on the house with the use of sage, salts, and crystals.
I've been practicing a summoning spell I found in the Demonomicon, and what if I put it out there that I'm looking for a familiar and see if anyone wants to volunteer?
Despite the obvious confidence in her spirituality, Lisa is still uncomfortable openly discussing her beliefs, and she'd rather let her work speak for itself. And it does.
Spirits of the forest, I pronounce my intentions to thee. Come forth and seek me, and equal we will be.
Number 3. The spells are real.
Spider, oh spider, pray do you not see? Here comes a big, buzzing, blundering bee.
This show is so dedicated to authenticity that even the freaking spells are real-world accurate.
Furnace in terros pariunt.
Turpis et infernis in daris pariunt.
Many of the spells, incantations, and rituals are legitimate and taken directly from historical sources and ancient spellbooks.
Sometimes, the oldest, simplest magic works best.
Unfortunately, this type of stuff doesn't sit well with everyone.
Aperianum, aperianum.
Tati Gabrielle, for example, felt uncomfortable filming Agatha's sacrifice, and she smudges herself every time she returns to her dressing room. She also doesn't partake in the ritual of saying Hail Satan whenever someone sneezes on set.
Hail Judas! Hail Satan! Hail Judas! Hail Satan!
She's just straight up not having a good time when it comes to witchcraft. Number 2. The Christmas special was an afterthought.
Got you something for Christmas. Open it.
The Christmas special was meant to bridge the gap between parts 1 and 2, but that was never the plan. Roberto Aguirre-Sacasa told the Wrap that they were already working on part 2 before he realized that they had done both a Halloween and Thanksgiving episode.
Sabrina.
Aunt Zelda, I can explain everything.
I think you'd better.
Naturally, he wanted to do a Christmas one as well. He then called the unit producer and told him about the idea, and the crew finished up episode 12 before commencing work on the Christmas special.
It wasn't sudden, Aunt Zelda. I saw my mom trapped in limbo, and I wanted to release her.
This proved to be a fortuitous decision, as Netflix coincidentally asked the production if they could drop something between parts 1 and 2 to tide the fans over. Turns out they had just the thing.
Oh, Sabrina, I am sorry. Will you try again?
Maybe after solstice.
Number 1, Kiernan Shipka is allergic to Salem.
Truly, it's just, I didn't expect to be allergic to cats.
Oh, you had no idea?
Now just imagine a witch being allergic to her own familiar. Kiernan actually had no idea that she was allergic to cats until she broke out in hives after picking up the one portraying Salem.
Such a pretty kitty. What's your name?
She gets through the filming day by taking boxes upon boxes of allergy medication, sometimes to the detriment of her own sobriety.
So how are you guys working around that? Because that's a problem.
Zyrtec, man.
Oh, wow.
I mean, honestly, at this point, I should be sponsored by an antihistamine company.
It was so bad that Roberto Aguirre-Sacasa briefly considered making Salem a dog, only to quickly abandon the idea out of Sabrina tradition. So if Kiernan's acting is a little off in scenes with Salem, just remember that she's probably drugged out of her mind.
Salem doesn't serve me, Aunt Z. We're in a partnership. He'll protect me, I'll protect him.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.